Hi, welcome. Today is January 29th, 2020, and this is our next batch of Q&As. There's only two. Really, there's only one. The other one was recorded earlier. However, I lost the recording, so I'm re-recording that question. Also, forgive me. Excuse me. I've got a little bit of a cold. Or I should say I'm getting over a cold, so if I stop a moment and cough, I apologize, although my voice is now pretty clear. So we're going to go ahead. Our first question is actually two questions that came in, but I wanted to combine them because the answer is going to be as one. So the question is, what is the state of the industry? The other one is, what is more popular, Medicare Advantage plans or Medicare supplements? So I get most of my information on the state of the industry from a conference that we go to. There is a Medicare conference. It's not really meant for agents. It's meant for the people that are behind the work that goes into Medicare supplements. Although agents are invited. They've got an agent day. We generally don't need it because we don't need help or advice in learning how to sell a Medicare supplement. We go for other things like how do the supplements work and all that. And that's not really geared for agents. It's one of the only times we get to actually talk to someone in the insurance industry as well that's not focused on selling the product, which is very useful. But during that time, they also give us reports on the state of the industry and how it works. And in terms of, without getting into revenue, how much money the companies make and everything, it actually doesn't matter. And I don't think that's what this question is about. It's what is new and what's going on with the plans and how popular are they. So in terms of the second question, what's more popular, it hasn't changed. Medicare supplements, Medicare Advantage, and employer coverage / other coverage / people that choose Medicare and nothing else remain almost split evenly at about 33%. Now, news is just starting to trickle in about what is coming up for what happened during the 2019 annual enrollment period. And it looks like Medicare Advantage gained just a little bit. It might be now at about 35%, with Medicare supplements at about 32%, and employer coverage and other coverage holding steady at about 33%. It seems to be that doesn't mean that Medicare Advantage is going to suddenly be the thing and you all need to get away from Medicare supplements. It doesn't work like that. I've been doing this long enough to know that it does kind of seesaw. Medicare Advantage did make inroads this year. Medicare supplement lost coverage or lost ground. There's a really good chance that within the next couple of years we're going to see that go the other way. Medicare supplement is going to gain ground. Medicare Advantage is going to lose it. It's all dependent on a number of different factors. Number one, what kind of price increases are Medicare supplements going to take? Are they going to be significant? The other one, how good is the Medicare Advantage going to be in terms of advertising themselves during the annual election period? And how available is it going to be for most people? If there's one thing an insurance company has proven, it's that they're very good at advertising Medicare Advantage plans and not good at all at advertising Medicare supplements. In terms of price increases, part of the gains we saw in Medicare Advantage may be that we did have some concerns that Medicare supplements would take some significant price increases as we came into 2020. Excuse me. Now, the reason why we were concerned about those price increases was because this new law called MACRA went into effect for Medicare supplements, and it basically meant that some people could not get certain Medicare supplements, and it even didn't apply to everybody. So we were concerned that macro was going to change around the pricing structure of Medicare supplements. So far, that has not happened. We've already seen a number of companies actually declare their 2020 price increases, and we're seeing the price increases, for the most part, stay between average and high average of Medicare supplements, with, at least in the areas we represent, the average being between about 8 and 12% of their current premium being the increase. And yes, there are plans that are announcing a decrease this year, and there's also companies that are announcing a 20% increase this year, but those are outliers, and there's always going to be outliers in both directions. But for the most part, the biggest name companies seem to be averaging their price increases right about that same amount, maybe just a tiny bit higher in average, but not really exceeding average. So we're not, the worst fears that we were expecting to see excuse me, really didn't come about, and the companies seem to be behaving pretty well. Now, are they doing that because they're being really conservative and they're not going to be, it turns out they're going to have to make a significant price increase coming up the next year? We don't know. I'm not panicked about it at the moment. I don't think anyone else should be panicked about it at the moment, because if price increases come, you take them when they happen. There's always going to be a lower cost company. If you can't get into a lower cost company now, the chances are you can't get into a lower cost company later. It depends on your health at the time. Yes, there is something to be said for taking action when you can, but a lower cost company is going to have their rate increase too, so all you'd be doing is pushing back the rate increases. For how long, I don't know. Does something happen to your health? Who knows? Now, Medicare Advantage, they've got a similar thing. So in terms of how that changed, Medicare Advantage, we don't usually gauge by price increases. We do gauge that by benefit changes. And they kind of acted like the supplements for the most part this year. They did not change that much. The actual Medicare approved benefits, first of all, they didn't change. They're exactly the same because Medicare requires they be exactly the same. But the extra stuff, the co-pays that go along with it, they did go up a little bit. They didn't go up much. They went up, just like the supplements, they went up on average about what you would expect, or if you had a Medicare Advantage plan for a couple of years. They didn't take any kind of significant increase for the most part on benefits that they did a couple of years ago. So if you saw a $5 increase in a particular copay a few years ago, you saw the same $5 increase this year. There's nothing unusual there. Plans that didn't have premiums generally don't have premiums. Plans that do have premiums, they didn't change that much. If they did, they didn't change too much. There is one particular prescription drug plan which did have a significant increase in terms of their premium in our market, and I think a lot of other markets as well. Excuse me, that's an example of an outlier. That stuff does happen. It doesn't happen often. It's one of the reasons we're in business, is because our clients expect us to call them each year and warn them when stuff like this happens. And I'm proud to say we warned every one of our clients about any kind of significant increase, both in terms of prescription drug plans and a couple of our outlier Medicare supplements that did take a significant price increase. We did warn them about all of that. When we notice the increases, we do warn people, and that's kind of that's one of the only things that we have to offer over purchasing insurance online or purchasing insurance direct from the insurance companies. You have somebody watching those premium increases for you. Yes, we're not going to call you when every single premium increase comes your way on a supplement, but we do try to warn you if we notice there's going to be one or two that are outside the realm of normality, and we notice that you're in that company when that happens. We are going to give you a call and kind of warn you about it, even before and try to move you before you see it. In terms of the other things Medicare Advantage did do, every year they talk up certain perks. Now, a perk, we've gone over this in other Q&As, a perk is not a benefit. A perk is something that Medicare does not cover. The insurance companies add it to make their plans more attractive. For the last few years, they have been advertising a fitness membership, and boy, have they been advertising that fitness membership. We kept a whiteboard in our office about all the people that called us about fitness memberships. Well, they're not doing that this year, in part because a lot of the companies already have the fitness memberships, and also in part because one of the biggest companies that was talking it up actually changed their fitness membership to where they're suddenly a bunch of not quite as happy people about what they have in return because they're starting to charge for that fitness membership. So they're not talking about that. So this year, the big thing everybody was talking about was dental and vision. See our other videos for our thoughts about dental and vision. But a lot of the Medicare Advantage plans were talking up dental and vision this year as if suddenly the insurance is totally worthless without dental and vision. Ladies and gentlemen, the insurance is primarily there to cover your Medicare benefits. Medicare covers, if you get hit by a bus, Medicare is there to pay your bill so that you get better, with the supplement or the Medicare Advantage plan there to do the same thing. If you have a heart attack, it's meant to get you better so that you do not die. If you go out, trip, fall on the ice, as is really possible in Ohio, West Virginia, Kentucky, and Michigan, the states we work, Medicare is there to get you better and to give you the therapy you need to get you better. That is what Medicare is there for. Everything that we do is centered around making sure that you have basically the dollars that you need to give to medical providers to get you better if something serious happens to your health. We are not here to provide dental insurance or glasses insurance. It's there on a lot of these insurance companies. They advertise it, but we had so many people calling in thinking that their insurance is worthless because it did not have dental built in. I can get dental. It's not really worth your money. I'll go over it with you. I'll be glad to go over it with you. But of all the people we talked to about it, and we talked to a lot of people this year about dental and vision, it did not turn out to be worth most people's money. Most everybody turned it down unless it was built into a Medicare Advantage plan, which meant just about the only people that took it were people that were switching from a supplement to an Advantage plan, or people that already had an Advantage plan and were okay going from no premium to some premium. There's a whole lot of bells and whistles and moving parts in Medicare Advantage, though, that kept people from taking it out once I went over it with them. Please don't lose that perspective as you think about your insurance in terms of vision. Excuse me. In terms of vision, Medicare covers diagnosis and treatment for diseases and conditions of the eye, which means it's built into the Medicare supplement, and it's built into the Medicare Advantage plan's basic benefits anyway. The vision parts that they're talking about that are not covered are glasses, except after cataract surgery, which are covered, but glasses are not in general, or contacts, or the check for glasses and contacts. So that's all that's left in vision insurance for vision to be covered. Everything else is part of the basic benefit there for vision and dental. For vision. Dental, there really isn't anything, so yeah, it's not there. I'm concerned about you getting well and not dying, so that your doctors get paid to patch you up to make you better if something unexpected medically happens, or even if something expected happens but it's medically necessary. That's what insurance is there for. It's not there for a tooth cleaning. You will waste money more times than not if you go and purchase this dental insurance, yes, I am saying it, you are wasting money in a lot of cases. Not all. There are some times where it might be worth your while, but for the most part, if you are trying to cut corners in terms of dollars and all you're looking for is something to cover your teeth cleaning, dental is not really going to be worth your dollars. So that was really the big thing that was being pushed this year by the industry. In terms of popularity for Medicare Supplement, Medicare Advantage, just want to touch a little bit more on this. Because Medicare Advantage just got better with their advertising, because the benefits were fairly stable this year, and because of uncertainty about Medicare Supplement prices, Medicare Advantage did gain a little bit of ingrounds. Medicare Advantage also wound up in more counties, at least in the states that we offer, and they they wound up offering $0 premium plans in more counties this year than they did in last year. More people did take Medicare Advantage. The insurance companies got better at advertising. They were in more mailboxes, more places, more supermarkets, more pharmacies, and more TVs this year than they were last year. As a result, Medicare Advantage, they went up. Now, as things change, as the rules change, Medicare Advantage may go down. Their benefits might get worse. As their benefits get worse, then then people will go back to Medicare supplements. If Medicare supplement premiums go down, people will buy more Medicare supplements. If Medicare supplement premiums go up, people will buy more Medicare Advantage. That's how that works. Probably the biggest change in terms of that is the number of people with employer coverage or just Medicare coverage went down. Employer coverage had 50% of the market about 20 years ago, and really we could see about 50%. Some places where we'd work maybe even less, but it is about the 33% mark. Really, it's not even that, because that statistic also carries in the category of other, which is not Medicare Supplement, not Medicare Advantage, not work insurance, and people that just take Medicare and nothing else. So employer coverage really has gone down. It's kind of stabilized. It took a drop about 2008 when the big three automakers took a drop, and it's going to take more of a drop again, although at the moment it's stable. As companies look for ways to reduce their employer coverage, that'll go down as well. It took another bit of a dive after the Affordable Care Act went into effect, and employers were looking to get those upcoming costs in check. As more things happen, more things will cause it to go, and people will be going to private insurance during retirement years more often. We don't expect that to change. The only thing that means is that Medicare supplements and Medicare Advantage plans will go up, and that means that there will be more. It'll be an equal number of people. We expect people to take Medicare supplements in equal numbers as Medicare Advantage. Medicare Advantage is the right choice for some people. Medicare supplements is also the right choice for some people. It's always good to just check these things out and see what's best for you and your personal situation. Neither option is kind of the one-all for everything. And that's all I have to say about that, the state of the industry and Medicare Advantage. So stay tuned for our next Q&A. We'll also put up the Bytes version of this, the version of this that is about 2 minutes long. Also, subscribe to our newsletter. If I can find the link to do it, we will be putting up a newsletter. Please, we're getting that going. We haven't gotten one out yet because we're just kind of starting to get subscribers. Please subscribe. And we'll try to get as much up as we can, and we're not sure what that newsletter is going to look like just yet, but as soon as it's ready, we'd like to have an interested base of followers check it. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. We're trying to be all the places for you to find us, and we'll see you next time.